Hi there, welcome to... Sorry, I'm laughing because Polly's like ready to record. She's like, hello! Imitating me. So, hello! Oh, I do sound like that. Welcome to episode 16 of... Oh, I forgot my sound machine at home. Oh, go.
Maughter Podcast.
I am Ooh, sexy. I am Claudia, I am mother. This is Polly, she is daughter.
I'm not doing it.
So I'm going to apologize now. I'm a little stuffed up because I have been fighting this cold for almost on my second week now.
Drama queen.
Yeah, thanks. And I'm at Polly's house and she has 2 cats and I'm allergic to cats. So let the fun begin. So really quickly, how do you eat your Twix bar and your Kit Kats? I have a Twix bar that Reese got for me and I gave one to Polly and she's eating the bottom first before she eats the caramel.
Okay, I saved the best for last. So
Twix...
I eat the... Listen.
You have to eat them together.
No. I saved the best for last, so I eat the cookie first, and then the caramel all at once.
No, then it's too sticky.
No, you're too sticky.
What does that even mean? How do you eat your Kit Kat, weirdo?
I just eat the little edges.
Yeah.
And then eat it normally, like a normal person.
I eat all... Oh, I said the girl who eats the crunchy part of the Twix first. I eat the sides and all around it, and then just eat the crunchy part after.
See, that's what I just said.
No, you're just like, I eat like a normal person?
Yeah, isn't that normal to you?
No, it's weird. You're a little bit weird. I'm going to apologize now, because I feel like we're going to have a lot of pausing during this podcast due to sneezing and coughing. Excuse me.
Wow.
Cue the cough. That was my machine, my sound machine. Just kidding. So today, welcome back to our second part of our serial killer episodes that Polly is talking about. So we are going to begin. Who are your people? Your people. They're serial killers.
My peeps. Okay, so first one is Ed Gein. Or Ed Gein. I don't know how people pronounce it. I'm going to say Gein.
The famous Ed Gein.
Yeah. And I wanted to do a Canadian one, so we're going to do Robert Pickton as well.
Okay.
I'm going to start with Ed Gein. He's pretty cool because he makes like little souvenirs, little nipple necklaces and stuff.
That's disgusting to begin with. Ew.
He's just a
creeper?
Eccentric.
That's one word, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Edward Theodore Gein.
Theodore.
He was born August 27th, 1906. Known as the Butcher of Plainfield, or the Plainfield Ghoul, was an American murderer, suspected serial killer, and body snatcher.
Aren't body snatchers like people that like
dig up bodies and...
I was thinking of something else, of those people that you were talking about before with Reese to me, where like if you see them, they like take your body and stuff and you don't know them, or you don't see them, like you hear about them but you don't see them kind of thing.
Like skinwalkers?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
No, those are urban legends.
Oh, so like myths kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Anyways, go back.
So he gathered widespread notoriety in 1957 after authorities discovered, that he had exhumed corpses from local graveyards and fashioned keepsakes from their bones and skin.
Gross.
He also confessed to killing 2 women, tavern owner Mary Hogan in 1954 and hardware store owner Bernice Warden in 1957.
Was he always known for killing women more so, or just both men and women?
Women are easier for men to kill.
Which is easy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's obviously if I'm a serial killer, I can kill men, but most women kill men by either a weapon, shooting them,
or poison,
because
it's easier to take them down kind of thing,
Yeah.
because they're bigger than us kind of thing.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay, so childhood. He was born in La Crosse, Wisconsin. He was the second of 2 boys of George Philip Gein and Augusta Wilhelmine Gein. Wilhelmine Gein. Gein had an elder brother named Henry. Augusta, who was fervently religious and normally Lutheran, frequently preached to her sons about innate immortality of the world, the evil of drinking, and her belief that all women were naturally promiscuous and instruments of the devil.
Oh, good luck getting married.
Yeah, well, if you're not religious, you're the opposite, right?
I guess that makes sense, yeah. I mean, it makes sense to them, not us.
She was abusive. Despite her abuse, Geen idolized and became obsessed with her. I know from listening to podcasts about him that every woman that he didn't see his mother in was the devil.
Okay.
So, if you're not religious, like God-fearing religious, you know, you're bad. I have other words, but I'm not going to say them. Augusta hated her husband, an alcoholic, who was unable to keep a job. He had worked at various times as a carpenter, tanner, and insurance salesman. During his time in La Crosse, Geen's father owned a local grocery shop, but he soon sold the business and left the city with his family to live in isolation on a 155-acre farm in the town of Plainsfield, Wisconsin, which became their permanent residence.
Were they like farmers, like farming and like because they have so many acres? Were they like farmers, like
I would assume,
like crop farmers kind of thing? Did they say?
It says. No, it doesn't really say.
Okay, I was just wondering.
But I would assume if they live on an isolated farm, they have to fend for themselves, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And if he opened up a grocery store, he might know how to farm.
Yeah.
As well, if he was sustaining it, right?
Yeah.
So Augusta took advantage of the farm's isolation by turning away outsiders who could have influenced her sons.
Okay.
So she kept her sons away from everything.
Yeah.
Geen left the farm only to attend school. Outside the school, he spent most of his time doing chores on the farm. Geen was shy, and classmates and teachers remembered him as having strange mannerisms, such as seemingly random laughter, as if he were laughing at his own personal jokes.
Aww.
To make matters worse, Augusta punished him whenever he tried to make friends. Despite his poor social development, Geen did fairly well in school, particularly in reading. Okay. On April 1st, 1940, Geen's father died of heart failure caused by his alcoholism at 66. Ed and his brother Henry began doing odd jobs around the town to help cover living expenses. The brothers were generally considered reliable and honest by the rest of the community. While both worked as handymen, Ed also frequently babysat for neighbors. He enjoyed babysitting, seeming to relate more easily to children than adults. Henry began dating a divorced mother of two and planned to move in with her. He worried about his brother's attachment to their mother and often spoke real ill of her around Ed, who responded with shock and hurt.
Aww, he loves his mom.
Okay. On May 16th, 1944, Ed was burning away marsh vegetation on the property. The fire got out of control, drawing the attention of the local fire department. By the end of the day, the fire having been extinguished and the firefighters gone, Ed reported his brother missing. With lanterns and flashlights, a search party searched for the 43-year-old Henry, whose body was found laying face down. Apparently, he had been dead for some time, and it appeared that the cause of death was heart failure, since he had not been burned or injured otherwise.
That's the brother?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was later reported by biographer Harold Schechter that Henry had bruises on his head. Police dismissed the possibility of foul play, and the county coroner later officially listed asphyxiation as the cause of death.
Oh, so he's murdered.
We don't know. Apparently, it was smoke inhalation.
Oh.
Because of the asphyxiation.
Okay.
The authorities accepted the accident theory, but no official investigation was conducted and an autopsy was not performed. Questioning Geen about the death of Bernice Warden in 1957, state investigator Joel Wilimovsky brought up questions about Henry's death. It was possible and likely that Henry's death was the Cain and Abel aspect of the case.
Oh.
Cain and Abel is the story where one brother kills the other in the Bible.
Yeah.
With Henry deceased, Geen and Augusta were now alone. Augusta had a paralyzing stroke shortly after Henry's death, and Geen devoted himself to taking care of her. Sometime in 1945, he later recounted he and his mother visited a man named Smith who lived nearby to purchase straw. According to Geen, Augusta witnessed Smith beating a dog. A woman inside the Smith residence came out and yelled for him to stop, but Smith beat the dog to death.
Aww.
Augusta was extremely upset by the scene. However, what bothered her did not appear to be the brutality toward the dog, but rather the presence of the woman. Augusta told Ed that the woman was not married to Smith and so had no business being there, and angrily called her Smith's harlot. She had a second stroke soon after, and her health deteriorated rapidly. Augusta died on December 29th, 1945, at the age of 67.
Well, they both died young.
Yeah. Ed was devastated by her death. In the words of Schechter, he had lost his only friend and one true love, and he was absolutely alone in the world.
Aww.
Yeah. So, for his work, Geen held onto the farm and earned money from odd jobs. He boarded up rooms that were used by his mother, including the upstairs, downstairs parlor, and living room, leaving them untouched.
So like a shrine for her.
Yeah. While the rest of the house became increasingly squalid. These rooms remained pristine. Geen lived thereafter in a small room next to the kitchen. Around this time, he became interested in reading pulp magazines and adventure stories, particularly those involving cannibals and Nazi atrocities. Specifically concerning Ilya Koch, who selected tattooed prisoners for death in order to fashion lampshades from other items and other items from their skins.
So he kept that whole property by himself?
Yeah.
Wow,
It was probably left to him.
That's a lot of acres. Oh, I guess how do you maintain all that by yourself?
You don't?
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. And it's this Nazi that they're talking about. I remember hearing that Ed Gein was inspired by him.
Like idolize him kind of thing?
I can't remember if it was a him or a her.
Oh, okay.
But it was, yeah, they were particularly brutal and terrible. So Gein received farm subsidy from the federal government starting in 1951. He occasionally worked for the local municipal road crew and crop threshing crews in the Plainfield area. He also sold an 80-acre parcel of land that Henry had owned.
Okay, I was going to say, you're probably better off selling some of the land, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so his brother probably got some of it. He
Yeah.
got some of it. He just sold his brother's half because his brother's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
So on the morning of November 16th, 1957, 58-year-old Plainfield hardware store owner Bernice Warden disappeared. The hardware store's truck was seen driving out the rear of a nearby building around 9:30 a.m. The hardware store saw few customers the entire day. Some area residents believe that this was because of deer hunting season. Warden's son, Deputy Sheriff Frank Warden, entered the store around 5 p.m. to find the cash register open and bloodstains on the floor. Could you imagine you take the mother of the police sheriff?
Oh, that's the sheriff's wife? The mother? Brave, for sure.
Yeah, right?
That's like just risky.
He probably didn't know. Well,
he would have known. It's a small town.
Yeah.
Everyone would have known, right?
Crazy.
Yeah.
The sheriff's deputy discovered Warden's decapitated body in a shed on Gein's property, hung upside down by her legs with a crossbar at her ankles and ropes at her wrists. The torso was dressed out like a deer.
Ew.
She'd been shot with a .22 caliber rifle, and the mutilations were made after her death. Searching the house, authorities found... Ready?
Oh.
Whole human bones and fragments. A wastebasket made of human skin.
Oh, gross.
Human skin covering several chairs.
Ew.
Skulls on the bedposts. Like human skulls.
I couldn't even think of sleeping in there.
Female skulls, some with the top sewn off. And, yeah, so the next one, bowls made of human skulls. He'd cut the top off and use them as bowls.
Ew, and actually eat out of them?
Yeah.
Gross.
You can buy, like, fake ones, and I want them.
Of course you would.
A corset made from female torso, skin from shoulders to waist.
Oh, gross.
Leggings made from human leg skin.
Ew.
And he would wear them.
Ew.
Masks made from skin of female heads. Mary Hogan's face mask in a paper bag. Mary Hogan's skull in a box, Bernice Warden's entire head in a burlap sack, Bernice Warden's heart in a plastic bag in front of Gein's potbelly stove.
He's gonna cook it then.
9 vulva in a shoebox.
Nasty.
A young girl's dress and the vulvas of 2 females judged to have been about 15 years old. A belt made from female nipples.
Ew.
4 noses. A pair of lips on a window shade drawstring.
So you had to pull the lips?
Yeah. A lampshade made from skin of a human face. Fingernails from female fingers.
What was the last one?
Fingernails from female
Oh,
fingers.
okay.
These artifacts were photographed at the State Crime Laboratory and then decently disposed of. What do you do with them?
We don't keep them like he did, apparently.
I would keep them.
Of course. There's too much weirdness
I'd be
with you.
like, can I keep, one?
Just all of a sudden, when they're, registering everything, all of a sudden one fingernail, something weird thing is missing, and it's Polly who has it in her home.
And then I come into work the next day wearing a nipple belt.
Gross! You pick the most obvious thing to
Be
steal.
like, hey, guys.
You like my new belt.
Oh, this whole thing? Okay, one question. Gein told investigators that between 1947 and 1952, he had made as many as 40 nocturnal visits to 3 local graveyards to exhume recently buried bodies while he was in a dazed-like state.
So the pieces and bodies that they found, they're for people that had already passed then.
Yeah.
They weren't people that were alive, that were missing kind of thing.
Yeah, that's why it says, supposed serial killer, because he killed those 2 women for sure.
Yeah.
But
where do the other parties come from, basically, right?
yeah, just from people he
Graves.
dug up. Yeah, body snatched.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I was going to say, how did the police not catch this guy who apparently has killed this many women in a small town?
Yeah.
Makes sense now. Okay.
On about 30 of those visits, he said that he came out of the days while in a cemetery, left the grave in good order, and returned home empty-handed. On the other occasions, he dug up the graves of recently buried middle-aged women he thought resembled his mother, and took their bodies home, where he tanned their skins to make his paraphernalia.
What would possess anyone to do that, even if a day's I guess lucky for those 30 people that didn't get, you know what I mean?
But you gotta think, his mom was his entire world. Nothing else mattered. Nobody else mattered.
I guess how else do you function, right?
Yeah. I know that, I don't know if they're gonna mention it, but I know that I've heard that he wore the skin to be his mother.
Ew.
Yeah, it's like Bates Motel,
Gross. Okay, gross. Okay, continue on.
Soon after his mother's death, Gein began to create a woman so that he could become his mother and literally crawl into her skin.
Oh.
He denied having sex with the bodies he exhumed, explaining they smelled too bad.
Oh, thank goodness.
During state crime laboratory interrogation, Gein also admitted to shooting a 51-year-old Mary Hogan, a tavern owner missing since December 8, 1954, whose head was found in his house, but he later denied memory of details of her death. A 16-year-old youth whose parents were friends of Gein and who attended baseball games and movies with him reported that Gein kept shrunken heads in his house, which he had described as relics sent by a cousin who had served in the Philippines during World War II. Upon investigation by the police, these were determined to be human facial skins, carefully peeled from corpses and used by Gein as masks.
Ew. It's a bit too much whack for me. Just a little bit.
Okay. So, yeah. During questioning, Sheriff Art Schlee, reportedly assaulted Gein by banging his head and face into a brick wall. As a result, Gein's initial confession was ruled inadmissible.
Was he a tall guy, a short guy, or tall?
Gein,
was he a fairly, average sized guy? Was he a big, huge guy, or what?
Let me check. So, his height and weight, I just saw it. He is I just seen it. Come on. He is 5'6".
Okay, so average.
Small.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
5'7".
Oh, I guess, yeah. I'm sorry. Anyone that's taller than me is considered tall or average.
Reese is 5'6".
Okay.
And 160 pounds.
So he's just an average kind of guy.
Yeah, he's anything like normal. Very normal, if anything smaller.
Okay.
Okay, these are some of the things he was suspected of doing.
Okay. But he wasn't charged for?
Yeah, murders.
Okay.
Just unsolved ones. Obviously, his brother.
So, sorry, you said his brother was going to go and marry or date or was going to live.
Yeah, he was dating.
So, do you think his mother killed the son because he was going to live with this woman who was divorced and had kids?
Like, it could be.
Because is that the devil's kind of woman kind of thing?
Definitely, yeah.
I think, like, she would be, a number one suspect for that if she was still alive kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Or she basically told the son that you have to kill him kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But, I don't know. That raised a little suspicion for me for the brother. I think it would be the mom that would do it.
Yeah, and some of, like, the bad things that his brother said about his mother could have set him off.
That's true, too, yeah.
And
I don't know.
covered it up with a fire. Like, even if they're half dead, they're still going to breathe in smoke.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a feeling that the mom did that one, the brother.
Yeah. Makes sense.
That's just me. I am by no means an expert in this, but...
It's a good theory.
Yeah.
Okay. Georgia Jean Weckler, age 8, disappeared from her farm home in Fort Atkinson at approximately 3:30 p.m. on May 1st, 1947. She was given a lift home from grade school in Jefferson by a neighbor who dropped Weckler off at the lane that led from U.S. Highway 12 to the Weckler farm. Weckler was last seen pausing to open the family mailbox and removing a stack of mail. She was never seen again.
But they didn't find any parts of the body of an 8-year-old.
Just wait.
Oh, okay.
Witnesses reported seeing a dark-colored, possibly black, 1936 Ford sedan with a gray plastic spotlight in the vicinity of the afternoon. Geen owned 1937 Ford.
Oh, okay.
This is just, like, unsolved murders.
So they're kind of, like, hinting that it might have been him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Evelyn Grace Hartley, age 15, and remember there was 15-year-old...
Yeah, 2 of them.
...things found. Went missing while babysitting a 20-month-old girl at the home of the La Crosse State College professor Viggo Rasmussen on the evening of October 24th, 1953 in La Crosse. That evening, her father, Richard, called the Rasmussen house several times after she failed to check in as planned at 8:30. He received no answer. Concerned, he drove to the house to find the doors were locked, the lights and radio on, and items scattered all over the house. The living room furniture had been moved around to different places, as were Evelyn's school books. Richard found her shoes in different rooms, one shoe upstairs, one shoe downstairs. He also found his daughter's broken glasses upstairs. Richard did not find Evelyn in the house. After his arrest, Geen was questioned regarding Evelyn's disappearance. However...
Well, where was the baby that she was
That's what I'm thinking.
Like, where was the baby that she was babysitting? The 20-month-old?
Yeah, I mean, maybe the baby was there. Personally, Geen doesn't seem like...
A pedophile?
No, he doesn't seem like the type of guy to break into someone's house. And
maybe they knew him because he did do babysitting when he was younger, right? Maybe they knew her that way. She could be like, "Hey, can I use the phone so they have in my car?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like his MO kind of thing, like a younger girl.
Yeah,
but they did find.
To this. He was questioned. He denied involvement, and he passed 2 lie detector tests.
I don't think this one was him.
No, police found no trace of Evelyn's remains during the search of his property. So no. Victor Harold Travis, age 41, a resident of Adams County, went off to hunt deer in the company of 43-year-old acquaintance Raymond Burgess, a resident of Milwaukee, on November 1st, 1950. In the late afternoon, the pair stopped for refreshments at Mac's Bar in Plainfield for several hours. At around 7, they both left the bar, got into Burgess's car, and drove away. The hunters, along with the car Burgess was driving, were never seen again, and no trace of them were ever found. Travis and Burgess had been hunting on the farm next to Geen's, despite the objections on the day of their disappearance.
Again, they're men. That's not his MO. That's not what he goes for.
Yeah, no.
It's like trying to pin...
Just because they were right beside him.
Yeah, no.
It could have been a hunting accident, could have been animals, could have been anything.
Yeah. Did they ever saw the car? Did they say?
It says the car and them were never found. It
That's
says
weird.
the hunters along with the car
Yeah, well,
were
how...
never seen again.
You go to his farm, you're going to find the car. Like...
Yeah. Even if it was burnt up. They
Exactly,
could
there's
still
evidence.
tell the make and model, right?
Yeah.
That's
a no for me.
Yeah, that's a no for me. In addition, Geen has also been tentatively linked to the 1954 disappearance of neighbor James Walsh, age 32. Excuse me. Walsh and his wife had lived near Geen, who performed chores for her after her husband went missing. Geen was also investigated for potential involvement in the 1956 disappearance of Irene Keating, age 30, who was last seen in Plainfield, and the attempted abduction of Judy Rodenkall, age 16, from Auroraville. See, but you don't have any evidence.
Yeah, I find those, like, maybe the older woman, maybe, because it seems like his type. But the guys, no. And the young girls, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 15, like he had the 15.
But, like he said, he could have gotten them from the grave, right?
Yeah, I mean...
Easily.
Okay, November 21st, 1957, Geen was arraigned on one count of first-degree murder, where he pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia and found mentally incompetent, thus unfit for trial. He was sent to the Central State Hospital for the Criminally Insane, now the Dodge Correctional Institute, a maximum security facility in Waupun, and later transferred to another state hospital in Madison. Okay. At the request of the defense, Geen's trial was held without a jury. Judge Robert H. Gallmar presiding. Geen was found guilty by Gallmar on November 14th. A second trial dealt with his insanity. Or his sanity, I guess. But he was insane, so insanity.
Yeah.
After testimony by doctors for the prosecution and defense, Gallmar ruled Geen not guilty by reason of insanity and ordered him committed to the Central State Hospital for the Criminally Insane. Geen spent the rest of his life in a mental hospital.
When did he die? Like, what year?
He died at the Mendota Mental Hospital due to respiratory failure secondary to lung cancer in 1984.
Oh, wow.
At the age of 77, over the years, souvenir seekers chipped pieces of his gravestone at the Plainsfield Cemetery until the stone itself was stolen in 2000.
Get out of here.
It was recovered in 2001 near Seattle, Washington, and was placed in storage at the Sheriff's Department.
So he doesn't even have a tombstone anymore.
The gravesite itself is now unmarked, but not unknown. Geen is interred between his parents and his brother in the cemetery.
Crazy.
Look at this is his gravestone all chipped away at.
We'll have to post a picture of that after.
Yeah.
Also, side note, Polly has her Twix bar sitting there, and I'm really tempted just to steal it and just start eating it.
Don't.
I'm just saying. Interesting. I honestly thought he was more about serial killing, and then instead of souvenir hunting kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, he just
Like,
liked cool things, I guess.
Okay, no. we're not saying he likes cool things. He likes
Interesting things.
yeah things.
He likes. He's creative.
Yeah, apparently he's a crafter. Yeah. Like I said, I thought he was more of a serial killer per se kind of thing, but like, ew, still kind of gross. That's a bit too much for me for crafting. Sorry, I have a limit. I'll keep my stuff to crafting regular things, not body part things.
Guys, my birthday's coming up, and I want one of those bowls. Skull bowls.
And Polly's Amazon wish, and
Yeah.
Gene's skull bowls. That's too funny. Okay, who's our next one that you want to talk about? We're going to apologize. It might be a little bit longer than we had hoped. But, next one?
Carla and Ian are still listening, so...
Yeah, Carla. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Ian. We'll give a shout out to Carla because we know she's listening for sure. So, shout out to Carla. Okay, so who is our second one again?
So, our Canadian serial killer,
Woo-woo.
Robert Pickton. I'd like to say, first of all, so this was a farm, right? He had a pig farm. And this was in... east of Vancouver.
Oh, okay.
Me and Reese went on a little hunt.
On purpose?
On purpose.
Okay.
For his pig farm.
You did not.
We did. And so the whole area now is a community.
Ew.
But right where his farm was, because the land isn't I don't know if it's dealt with or not,
Right.
but the land at the time, they couldn't do anything with it because of all the remains that were found.
Ew.
So it's just a huge open field.
Gross.
And there's just lumps everywhere. It looks like a
Ew.
landfill, right?
Yeah.
But like grass growing on top of it. And we went right up because it's all fenced off. It's completely fenced. Big, like 12-foot fences.
Okay.
And we went right up to it, and you can't go in there. You can't, like...
Did you take pictures?
I don't think I did. It was a long time ago. It was when me and Reese first started dating. But yeah, it's just surrounded by residential homes.
Gross. Can you imagine living so close to that?
Yeah. These people probably have no idea.
As if you don't know who he is and what he did around there.
Who, like, some people are just ignorant like that. Like, they don't know. Why, unless they looked up his exact farm address, like we did. How are they supposed to know?
Well, you know if you're in a community that this person killed a bunch of people at this pig farm.
Why? They're not, they don't have to tell you.
But still, ew.
Like, the realtors don't have to tell you that you live beside a pig farm killer.
Ew. I'd be like, nope. That's a big no for me.
It was very cool.
Probably would be all over. Like, let's buy the house right beside it.
It was very quiet. Like, it was really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a pretty cool experience, though. Okay. So, Robert William Pickton,
Yeah.
born October 24th, 1949, also known as the Pig Farmer Killer, is a Canadian serial killer, serial rapist, former pig farmer, and possible cannibal who is expected of being one of the most prolific serial killers in Canadian history.
Oh.
I'd like to say he is the most prolific serial killer.
Yeah.
Just notoriety, and I don't think his body count is that big. I think it's like 6, 7 that are known.
Yeah.
After dropping out of school, Picton left the butcher apprenticeship to begin working full-time in his family's pig farm. He is believed to have begun his murders in the early 1990s after inheriting the farm. Arrested in 2002, he was convicted in 2007 of the second-degree murder of 6 women.
But did you say he had like 40-something women? Or 40-something bodies?
Okay, so he was convicted of 6.
Okay.
Charged with 26. And confessed to 49.
Holy. So basically the people that he confessed to, they didn't have enough sufficient evidence to...
All the women that he took were working the streets in Vancouver.
Oh, okay.
They were all Indigenous, all prostitutes.
So they had like kind of no family record.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people wouldn't know they were missing kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Easy pickings, I guess. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay. Robert Picton was born to Leonard Francis Picton and Louise Helen Arnold, a family of pig farmers in Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. So 17 miles east of Vancouver, or 27 kilometers. Picton's older sister, Linda Louise Wright, was sent to live with relatives in Vancouver as her parents thought that the family pig farm would be an inappropriate setting to raise a young girl. But Robert... Let's throw him in with the pigs. Robert and his younger brother, David, began working at the farm at an early age, and their mother was very demanding, prioritizing the pigs over the brothers' personal hygiene.
Ew.
And forcing them to work long hours raising the farm's livestock. She often sent them to school unwashed, dirty clothes, reeking of manure, and earning the brothers the nickname Stinky Piggy from their classmates.
Oh, that's so sad.
Picton was strongly attached to his mother and had little interaction with his abusive father. Picton struggled in school, being put in special classes after failing the 2nd grade.
Oh.
At the age of 12, Picton began raising a calf, which had become his beloved pet. 2 weeks later, after failing to find it after school, he was told to check the barn, where he was heartbroken to find it slaughtered.
Oh my goodness.
His only friend. He dropped out of school in 1963 and began working as a meat cutter. He continued to do so nearly for 7 years before working full-time at the farm. In 1994 and 1995, Picton and his 2 siblings inherited the family pig farm, selling parts of their inherited land and earning a total of $5.16 million.
Holy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Worker Bill Hiscox called the farm a creepy-looking place, patrolled by a 600-pound boar, and and described Picton as a pretty quiet guy, hard to strike up a conversation with, whose occasional bizarre behavior, despite no evidence, who had bizarre behavior despite no evidence of substance abuse, and he would draw attention.
Was his father an alcoholic or no, just abusive?
Just said abusive.
Okay.
On March 23rd, 1997, Picton was charged with the attempted murder of a prostitute, Wendy Lynn Eistetter, whom he had stabbed several times during an altercation at the farm. So basically, he would take these women, promise them drugs to get them back to his farm.
I'm like, these women just randomly prostitute around his farm or something?
No.
So he brought them there.
He would say, hey, you can stay here, and I'll give you drugs if you have sex with me.
Oh, okay.
And they would do it, because it was a warm place to stay.
Yeah.
And, like, he would get a few of them to go back and tell their friends, like, oh, yeah, staying there was fine.
Yeah.
And that's how he'd get them.
Aww.
Here
I am on all these serial killers.
Yeah. So, yeah, he had stabbed multiple times during an altercation on the farm. Eistetter had informed police that Picton had handcuffed her, but that she had escaped after suffering several lacerations. She told them that she had disarmed him and stabbed him with his weapon. Picton sought treatment.
How does he explain that? Especially if he got accused of it, right?
Yeah. Sought treatment at Eagle Ridge Hospital, where Eistetter recovered at the nearest emergency room.
Like, I guess you could just say you cut yourself farming, but, like, dude, you're a farmer. You know this stuff, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go off what I remember listening about him, because these articles don't really go into that much detail about him.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure... Don't quote me on this, people.
Quote.
That there was a lot of rumors about him feeding his pigs these women's remains in order to get rid of them. Because there was only fragments of people found.
Oh, they didn't have, like, body, like, all the bones and stuff like that.
No. And there was a barn that he had where he would hang these women upside down and butcher them.
So would he have sex with these women?
Yes.
So he would have sex with them?
Yeah.
And then afterwards he would kill them?
Yeah, he would promise them a place to stay, give them comfort. And then during the investigation of the farm, because the farm was absolutely humongous.
Yeah.
I think it was, like, the most that the RCMP has ever spent.
Time-wise?
Searching someone's property, because it was that big.
Yeah.
And they found he would keep their IDs. One of the women had left an inhaler that had her name on it. So they could link those murders to him for sure.
Right.
Like, there was a bunch that obviously he was charged with, but not...
All of them, basically.
Yeah, because these poor jurors, had to go through every single murder. And guilty or not guilty, right?
Yeah. And I guess with the evidence, they have to, like collect all the evidence that would make, basically show that they were there, for one, and, like, evidence that they were, like, that something happened there at the farm.
Yeah.
Not after, like, they left this property.
Yeah. Also, his brother lived with him on the farm.
This whole time when he was killing people?
The whole time. He denied knowing anything about it.
How do you not know that prostitutes are coming and not leaving? Did he not ever go into the barn? Did he never feed these pigs?
You know. He was... It says, David, his brother, was convicted of sexual assault in 1992 and was fined $1,000 and given 30 days probation. In that case, the victim told police that David had attacked her while in his trailer at the pig farm, but managed to escape.
So do you think the brother assaulted these people as well?
Oh yeah, I think the brother knew about it.
And obviously, you got to. Know about it? You would have to know. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not know this is happening literally in your own home? Yeah. So I think he was like an accomplice kind of thing, and he just got his mouth shut because he took advantage of the women too. And once he did, he's like, oh, no, I'll get rid of them. Like, I'll send them back kind of thing. He probably didn't know what was maybe happening to the women afterwards. You know what I mean? Because it could have been that. Because that makes sense. Like, if you're going to be like, hey, you take advantage of this woman, you know, your brother does too. Okay, I'm going to drop them off back where they came from, blah, blah, blah.
When he takes them to the bar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Also, I wanted to bring up Piggy Palace. So they were sued by Port Coquitlam officials for violating zoning ordinances, neglecting the agriculture for which it had been zoned, and having altered a large farm building on the land for the purpose of holding dances, concert, and other recreations.
Okay.
So they had begun to neglect the site's farming operations and registered a nonprofit charity, Piggy Palace Good Times Society, with the Canadian government in 1996, claiming to organize, coordinate, manage, and operate special events, functions, dances, shows, and exhibitions on behalf of service organizations, sports organizations, and other groups. Its events included raves and parties featuring Vancouver sex workers and gatherings in a converted slaughterhouse on the farm. These events attracted as many as 2,000 people.
Wow.
And members of the Hells Angels were known to frequent the farm.
Holy.
Subsequently, the brothers ignored growing legal pressure and held a 1998 New Year's Eve party in which they were faced with an injunction banning future parties, and police were authorized to arrest and move any person attending the future events at the
Did
farm.
it just like get out carried away, or did it have like the license for it, or what?
Well, they had the money. I guess they just wanted to party.
They just didn't care. Weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like...
How old were they at the time? Like young? Like...
Let's see. He was born in 1949, and this happened in 1998.
So they're like 50.
Yeah.
Wow, they're like...
But I mean, Hells Angels aren't all young, right?
Well, I guess, but like, do you want to be holding a rave at 50 years old? Like, I guess.
With all the sex workers and stuff, and just...
You get young
it
vibes.
was probably, like, they knew that place.
Yeah, I guess.
As the Piggy Palace, right?
Yeah, it's so funny, the Piggy Palace. Sounds like a place you're going to go eat burgers or something like that.
The society's non-profit status was removed the following year, and for inability to produce financial statements, it was disbanded.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, basically, he only got convicted of 6 murders, and the rest of the people that he killed. Did he confess to the killings?
Okay, so...
I don't remember if they said that.
I'm getting to the investigation.
Okay.
On February 22nd, 2002, Robert Pickton was arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of Serena Abbotsway and Mona Wilson.
Okay.
On April 2nd, 3 more charges were added. I'm not going to say their names because half of them are hard to say.
Okay.
A 6th charge for another murder was laid on April 9th, following shortly by a 7th. On September 20th, 4 more charges were added. Another 4 more charges, and eventually it got to 27.
Okay.
Excavations continued at the farm through November 2003. The cost of the investigation... What do you think the cost of the investigation?
I'm going to say at least 50 grand.
50 grand.
Yeah.
The cost of the investigation is estimated to have been $70 million by the end of 2003.
70 million? Basically to take out all those bodies and find remains and investigate every single piece of the land. The land, not the gland.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
So who pays for that? The county? Or the city?
The provincial government.
So that's $70 million basically down the crapper.
Yeah. According to the provincial government, the property is currently fenced off.
Like you said.
Yeah. In the meantime, all the buildings on the property except a small barn have been demolished.
Was the barn there when you went?
I don't remember seeing a barn, but it was pretty long.
Yeah.
So I couldn't see all the way down.
So what's happening with that property now? It's just there?
It says...
It's a historical land.
Yeah, right. It's owned by the Crown in...
Vancouver?
Like the government. The British Columbian government.
Wow, that's crazy.
Forensic analysis proved difficult because the bodies may have been left to decompose or eaten by insects or pigs. So they can't really do anything with it.
Yeah, because
there may be body parts under there.
Yeah, I guess, right?
But it's not like they're gonna actively spend another $70 million.
Yeah. So what happened? Did he die? Like,
just wait.
Sorry.
I haven't even got to his trial.
Sorry.
During the early days of excavation, forensic anthropologists brought in heavy equipment, including 2 50-foot flat conveyor belts and soil sifters to find traces of human remains.
I bet you'd be your glory.
Every bit of soil.
Would you be your glory do that?
Yeah, probably. On March 10th, 2004, the government revealed that Picton may have ground up human flesh and mixed it with pork that he sold to the public.
Gross! Imagine going to Piggy Palace and getting something to go. Ew!
Yeah, because he was a butcher. He ground and packaged meat.
Oh, stop! No!
The province's health authority later issued a warning. By the way, the meat that you might have eaten 3 years ago...
I would hope there'd be some form of warning.
Another claim that was made that he fed the bodies directly to his pigs. In 2003, a preliminary hearing was held, and the clothes and rubber boots that Picton had been wearing during the Eisteddar assault were seized by the police.
That was last year.
From a storage locker. Huh?
That was last year.
2003?
Oh, sorry. I heard you say 2023. I'm like, that was last year.
In 2004...
2004.
Lab testing showed that DNA of 2 women were on those items.
Oh, the boots.
Yeah. Okay, so his trial pleaded not guilty to 27 charges of first-degree murder in the Supreme Court of BC.
If you plead guilty to those murders, do they even bother with anything else? Like, okay, you're guilty, that's it.
No, if you plead guilty at your preliminary trial, you don't have to go in front of a jury.
Okay, so you just basically go straight to jail.
Yeah.
And they give you a time sentence, that's it. You're done.
Yeah, the judge is like, hey.
You're done. No. This is what you get.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for, like, the sanity of the victims' families, a lot of killers do that. They'll just confess and be like, yeah. Because when you think about what the parents and all these people have to go through sitting there, I'm sure these women had multiple children.
Yeah.
That, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wouldn't want to sit through it.
Yeah, exactly.
The initial date of the jury trial on the first 6 counts was January 8th, 2007. So you think these murders started in 1993 and his trial started in 2007.
Holy.
But it was postponed to January 22nd. On that date, Picton faced first-degree murder charges in the deaths of the 6 women. The media ban was eventually lifted, and the details of what was found during the investigation were publicly released.
Oh.
So this is what was found. During Picton's trial, lab staff testified about 80 unidentified DNA profiles.
80!
Roughly half male, half female have been detected on evidence. A loaded .22 revolver with a dildo over the barrel.
Ew?
Yeah. And 1 round fired. Boxes of .357 Magnum handgun ammunition, night vision goggles, 2 pairs of faux fur-lined handcuffs, a syringe with 3 millimeters of blue liquid inside, and Spanish fly aphrodisiac was found inside Picton's trailer. In a videotaped recording played for the jury, Picton claimed to have attached the dildo to his weapon as a makeshift silencer.
I guess so that's one way of doing it.
Put in their mouth. This explanation was impractical at best, as the revolvers are nearly impossible to silence.
Oh my gosh.
A videotape of Picton's friend Scott Chubb saying Picton had told him a good way to kill a female heroin addict was to inject her with windshield washer fluid. That's really sad. A second tape was played for Picton in which an associate named Andrew Bellwood said Picton mentioned killing sex workers by handcuffing and strangling them, then bleeding and gutting them before feeding them to pigs.
Gross.
Photos of the contents of a garbage can can be found in Picton's slaughterhouse, which led some remains to one of the victims.
Wow.
On December 9th, 2007, the jury found Picton not guilty on 6 counts of first-degree murder, but he was found guilty on 6 counts of second-degree murder. On December 11th, 2007, after reading 18 victim impact statements, the Supreme Court Judge Justice James Williams sentenced Pickens to life with no possibility of parole for 25 years. That's the maximum sentence.
Yeah.
Like, in Canadian government, it's 25 years.
Yeah.
For parole. In the U.S. government, it's 20 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mr. Pickton's conduct was murderous, and repeatedly so. I cannot know the details, but I know this. What happened to them was senseless and despicable, said Justice Williams in passing.
Wow.
In passing the sentence.
Because I'm impatient. Is he still alive? Or is he dead?
He's alive.
He's still alive?
He's 74 years old.
I was going to say he must be like at least over 60.
Yeah. Life imprisonment.
He's 75?
No possibility of parole after 25 years. So
when was he sentenced?
Parole
2004?
2007.
Oh, 2007.
So that would be like 2031 or something.
So he is sentenced to 25 years to life or 25 years maximum?
No, life imprisonment with the possibility of parole after 25 years.
Oh, after 25 years. Okay,
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
So after 25 years, he can go
and try to get paroled.
Try and get paroled. I don't think it'll work.
No,
that's
crazy. Wow, that was a good episode. That was good, kiddo. I like that one. So I forgot to say Friday favorites. I'm a little bit delayed, obviously, today. Also, I heard myself and I sound really, really gross, just so you know. Okay, so really quickly, thank you guys so much for listening to this very long podcast, but it was a lot of fun, so I enjoyed it as well. We don't know what we're going to talk about next week. I was kind of hoping that we could talk about, like, kids under, like, the age of 8, people under the age of 18, but I think that might be a bit too much, because I think a lot of the kids, like, serial killers that are classified as kid serial killers kill a lot of younger kids, and I think that might be a bit too much. I don't know. I feel like...
Kids kill kids.
Exactly,
they
right?
can kill what they can kill.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to touch that topic just yet.
Ask our two fans.
Yeah, our two listeners. Okay, also, really quickly, can you guess what this sound is? Okay, so I want you guys to listen really closely and tell me what this is the sound of. Now I gotta find a good one. Hold on. I don't know if you can hear that. I'm gonna do another one. Yeah, that was really bad. Okay, one more. Hold on, let me just check. So listen closely and tell me what this is a sound of. Okay, hold on. I messed up on that one because now I can't. Okay, hold on. You got it, Polly? Oh, that was good. Okay, play it back. Listen to that. Tell us what your thoughts are. Give us a comment on that. Let me know.
If anybody guesses it right...
Oh my goodness. Kudos. You're going to get like the best shout out ever.
And Carla and Ian, don't talk to each other about it.
Yeah, you guys have to just guess what it is. Let us know. Okay, so give us suggestions. You guys want to talk about more serial killers? Let us know. I'm game for it. I know Polly is. Or we can go like younger kids or...
If we're going to do serial killers, I'd like to do like foreign serial killers that nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah, like ones that are not like mainstream. Horrible, like recognized.
Yeah, no Jeffrey Dahmers, no Ted Bundys.
Yeah.
You know. Everybody knows about them.
Okay, we hope you guys have a great Friday. Thank you so much for listening to our Comcast.
Our Comcast.
To our podcast. Don't forget to...
like, subscribe, share, comment.
Yeah, you did them all. I'm so proud of you. I was thinking of them. I just didn't say them. Yeah, I guess that's it. That's a wrap.
Yeah.
Okay, have a good day and...
Until next week.
Bye.
Bye.